Go. I think this might be better. No audio. Are you getting audio now? Please let me know if you got audio now. All right, thanks. Yeah, I was on computer sound there for a second. Anyways, it's Friday the 13th. And it's a scary day because we're not officially in a war now, but our aircraft carrier in the Middle East, as RFK Jr. called it, has started a war, and with our help and our blessings, I don't know why how come my mic is not really like happening here? No. Sorry. Oh, that was loud. My God. Okay, can we get the mic in the shot? There. But it was, for all intents and purposes, coordinated with us. So Israel's doing the bombing, but we're definitely providing logistics and support. And it is a situation that people have been warning about for a long time. A situation that people have rightly said was something that we should fear. A situation we should fear because it was going to lead to much worse things. So they were kind of signaling that they were going to bomb Iran, and now they have started for sure. It's going on, and everybody's kind of sitting around waiting to see how far this is going to go. Glenn Greenwald, how are you guys feeling about this? Everybody nervous? I'm nervous. I was nervous. Trump is ordering U.S. military assets to move closer to position to defend Israel against Iranian retaliation. So basically the game is they strike and we send out all the warnings. Oh, if you guys hit us back in any way, shape, or form, remember that there are plenty of service, U.S. service people on the ground in Israel for sure, right? It was revealed long time ago that U.S. military personnel were in Israel in the, as part of the Gaza conflict. And they're definitely there. There are U.S. mercenaries there as part of the Gaza humanitarian aid thing that's going on. I mean, they are out in the open there as being representatives, operatives of the U.S. Unplug my computer. What you talking about? What you talking about? You mean just don't watch? Is that what you're saying? Drop out? Anyways, the forces include destroyer USS Thomas Hudner, along with a second U.S. ship to deploy to positions to intercept Iran's ballistic missiles. Supposedly they have hypersonic weapons, courtesy of Russia. So that's, yet to be seen, but rumored that they have some kind, superior firepower to, say, maybe Iraq years ago, or Syria, or anywhere else. Let's see. Israel murdered the person spearheading the nuclear negotiations with the U.S. So the main thing I wanted to, one of the main things I wanted to touch on is that Trump and Netanyahu were planning this all along. That whole thing, the whole thing about the U.S. not, you know, Trump not getting along with Netanyahu and them being on the outs, and maybe he was going to recognize and the trip to the Middle East and talking about sovereignty and all of that was a ruse, all of that. And they're basically coming out and saying, this was a fake out. Ha ha ha. To get people off their guard while we sit around and plan for this attack. So this was, the U.S. is trying to say that they're not part of this, but this was absolutely planned and coordinated every step of the way. Both the U.S. and Israel together, locking arms, linking arms together on this. So, are we looking at this? Yeah. Well, it's very small on the screen. Update: Ali Shamkhani has been killed. Iranian officials view this as Israel targeting and killing nuclear diplomacy with the U.S. They tell me. He's been severely injured in a strike targeting his house and hospitalized. Mr. Shamkhani is currently spearheading nuclear talks committee appointed by Supreme Leader and is former Secretary of National Security Council. I know. Malcolm Young, I was just talking about this, that there are, I know several young men of draft age right now, but I'm going to say that this is a situation, and it may be the reason. I'm going to go ahead and say that it may be the reason that they're doing, trying to set up like a military law situation in the U.S. or a martial law situation, right? Sending ICE out and creating all this disturbance. Because, Trump just came out and reversed his position on immigration. And it, like everything else he does, he's, capable of reversing position on a dime. And nothing he really says holds any, firm ideological, conviction. It's just, he just throws stuff out there. I'm going to say that I think the ICE raids and the terror campaign that they're pursuing is not even about immigration. It's not even about illegals or whatever you want to, however they want to put it. I'm not, it's not about that. It's about terror, and it's about creating a situation where there's instability, creating chaos, creating instability, getting everybody kind of prepped for more military personnel on the ground inside the country, and creating a situation where it's martial law. Again, this is, just follow me on the through line, but if you start a war and then you are expecting a really big pushback from the citizenry about people being drafted for a war, and you are going to get it. I'm telling you right now, they don't understand the blowback that is about to happen. Or maybe they do. This is unpopular. Nobody wants this. Nobody supports this. I'm talking about left and right. The people of the United States don't want this, don't support it, aren't with you, aren't behind this. Absolutely 100% no. That's a 100% no from the biggest part of the population of the United States. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that without a major amount of pushback. So I think that they know this, and they're trying to get troops deployed and people out on the street, a big show of force out on the street, to make it harder for people to get out of this. Nice. Victory Jen, I appreciate you. Thank you. Victory Jen reposted the stream on X. Word. Anyways, I didn't want to get too far off on a tangent, but that's what I think most of this is about. Not only that, like, you know, Trump has reversed his position on immigration just recently. So all of this, the shenanigans by the ICE agents, you know, Trump is not calling the shots, and we know this. Who's calling the shots? Palantir, Israel, the combined tech, Israeli oligarchy, right? Israeli aligned oligarchy, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, all of them. All of them are in. They are running the show. They are calling the shots. It's not about Trump and his policies. It's about their policies that they want to see enacted. And Trump is just the puppet. He's just a theater. He's just the front man, right? He's just the actor that's doing the bidding. So, that's basically what's up. Victory Jen, good to see you. And at least I can see your chats on StreamYard, so that's helpful. So all of this is, I think, part of a bigger framework, there's a bigger picture to this whole thing. And they're getting you, you know, everybody's and rightly so, everybody's upset about what ICE is doing and you know, rounding up people and deporting people and all that kind of stuff. But there's something bigger at play. Clearly. And anyways, I don't want to get off on a tangent because there's a lot to cover. Where is this? So on the heels of this post about the nuclear diplomat who was targeted in his home, Kim Iverson posting this. So they are able to do this. They don't have to level entire buildings, killing dozens of women and children. And they are. That's what you should know about. What you should know about what's happening in Gaza is that, you know, there's no, if they were actually targeting Hamas, they can and would do precise strikes to take them out. They're able to do stuff like this. This is an Iranian commander who was targeted in his home with an extremely precise missile piercing through the wall, right? They're able to do stuff like this. So what they're doing in Gaza, as far as just flattening the entire area, that's intentional. And there ain't no Hamas there. You know that. I know that. Where are Hamas? They're nowhere to be found. You look, you know, every single shot, image, video I see out of Gaza is like, where is the Hamas? Where's the fighting? Where's the confrontation, the conflagration? Where is it? It's nowhere because they're not there. They don't exist. They just made them up so that they could have a reason to get in there, and that's just what they're doing. So ain't no Hamas sympathize. All of that is just gaslighting 101. And people, I don't know if people are falling for it, but excuse me. Just trying to get through these, you know, in a timely fashion. So I'm sorry if I'm moving through these stories pretty quickly, but there's a lot to talk about. Glenn Greenwald posting this from Z Squirrel. The Z Squirrel is a prophet. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm messing it up. When virtually everyone believed there was some acrimonious Trump-Netanyahu split and Trump was determined to prevent Israel from bombing Iran. And again, this was being said as, you know, 2 days ago, because there was supposed to be a negotiation between U.S. and Iran like today. And up until yesterday they were saying like, no, we don't want them to bomb. And all of that was a fake out. And Trump was determined to prevent Israel from bombing Iran, only to now learn the whole thing was a ruse as the U.S. and Israel jointly planned the attack. And here's the post. Axios is reporting that Trump was publicly pretending to oppose an Israeli attack on Iran. Two Israeli officials claimed to Axios that Trump and his aides were only pretending to oppose an Israeli attack in public, didn't express opposition in private. We had a clear U.S. green light, one claimed. The goal, they say, was to convince Iran that no attack was imminent and to make sure Iranians on Israel's target list wouldn't move to new locations. Netanyahu's aides even briefed Israeli reporters that Trump had tried to put the brakes on an Israeli strike in a call on Monday, when in reality the call dealt with coordination ahead of the attack. Israeli officials now say the U.S. side has not confirmed any of that. In the hours before and after the strike, the Trump administration distanced itself from Israeli operation in public statements and private messages to allies. Marco Rubio stating that there was Israel's attack was unilateral with no U.S. involvement. All of this. Hours later, Trump confirmed he knew the attack was coming, but stressed the U.S. had no military involvement. Again, absolute bullshit and nonsense, because we've been clearing out personnel from nations around Iran. The air raids are being conducted from from Iraq, which is U.S. controlled, and being refueled over Syria, which is U.S. controlled, et cetera, right? Denver Attaway, what is this? The Starlink and the massive electromagnetic interference. Oh, okay. I try to be concise, Malcolm. What's up, Bobby Davis? How you doing? Salt Lakers, Denver, Victory, gang's all here, and all that, and all of that. More on this. Well, let's keep this. This post is chock full of information, so let's keep going. And a good, and a good thread. From Z Squirrel. Let's see. All right, so here's the post from Z Squirrel, and it's a good one. And this is, when is this from? May 14th, just a month ago. All right, I'm going to read. It's kind of long, but good info in here. So let's. Oh, really? They claim it's not intended, but it's just, yeah. You know the lady. Oh, man, I had her. I'll go find her. You know the lady who talks about all the electromagnetic interference and how they're screwing with our auras, and like, you know that lady? Anybody know about that lady? And they've been doing this for like decades and decades. She's out there, but so interesting. And the things she's saying make a lot of sense. You know who I'm talking about. I'm going to find her, maybe not today, but I'm going to find her, the latest thing I saw from her, which is pretty good. All right. Everything being done by Trump admin now to push the turn on Israel Netanyahu line is pure misdirection aimed at reestablishing the element of surprise ahead of an imminent attack on Iran, which requires both a sustained air bombardment and a ground operation at the nuclear sites. For the attack to have at least some chance of success, it is essential for the element of surprise to be reestablished. The fake negotiations in Oman with the Iranians, the demotion of Waltz, the whining about neocons, like in the Saudi Arabia speech, the fake defeat against the Houthis, And all the fake leaks about how Trump is really very angry and feels betrayed by Netanyahu are all intentionally designed to create a feeling of passivity among the Iranians and the belief that the attack may not actually happen. Netanyahu's trips to DC was there where they decided to adopt this strategy, and then immediately thereafter it was launched, and the Trump turn on Israel propaganda began in full swing. The entire media class is, of course, playing along with it, with their anonymous sources giving them leaks that establish and launder the narrative. Trump's trip to Saudi Arabia and the Gulf puppet regime is aimed at shoring up support among the U.S. NATO Israeli Empire's Arab Shield and consolidate the inclusion of Syria's Erdogan Jelani fascist puppets into it ahead of the attack. As they have been desperately trying to reestablish the element of surprise with bullshit, meaningless rhetoric, these are the actual material things that are being done to set up the preparations for the attack. I don't know about the element of surprise, because Iranian Twitter was for the day or two before the attacks, they were like, we know it's coming. Here we are. We're ready. We're waiting. We're ready for this. Didn't seem like there was a lot of surprise there, but who knows? Maybe those are fake accounts. It's hard to tell. Trump's Zionist forces have been heavily involved in Lebanon, demanding that they do more and more to destroy Hezbollah and prevent its ability from being a deterrent against an attack. Again, Syria plays a crucial role in this, which is why they have now formally integrated it into the U.S. NATO Israeli empire, and why they had to get rid of Assad and take it over. Just basically take the whole thing over. This is not only to eliminate the land corridor between Iran and Hezbollah, but also to have the ISIS fascist proxies serve as an attack force against them in the case they get involved, with an invasion of Lebanon from the east being threatened. Similar moves are being made in Iraq, with Trump's Zionist enforcers demanding the state crack down on paramilitary forces that are not beholden to the U.S. NATO Israeli empire, but instead aligned with the axis of resistance. What about the Houthis? The Trump Zionist regime realized that the bombing campaign by itself would not be sufficient to destroy them, and they needed to make preparations for a ground invasion with the aid of its Gulf proxies, the UAE and the Saudis chief among them, to help establish this misdirection narrative of the Trump turn on Netanyahu. They decided to come out with the fake leaks about how what was always intended to be a temporary withdrawal was actually part of the distancing between U.S. and Israel. They will relaunch that campaign with the ground invasion in concert with the attack on Iran, or perhaps even earlier. The Trump regime already made the decision before it came into office that the axis of resistance, meaning the only material force in the region that withstands genocidal Zionist Israeli and broader U.S. NATO imperial hegemony, has to be destroyed by military means, and that now is the perfect time to do it because, so the propaganda line goes, Hezbollah and Hamas have both been defeated and so are no longer deterrents, and Iran has shown itself to be a paper tiger that talks a tough game but with red lines and operation true promises, but then never follows through, so is fundamentally risk averse and unwilling to retaliate with the required force, which it certainly possesses. This, by the way, is another propaganda line they keep repeating, which is totally deranged and pure Mossad CIA propaganda. The claim that Israel actually managed to destroy most, if not all, of Iran's air defenses and rocket building capacities in its pathetic, irrelevant attack that in reality had zero effect on anything. Yet, if you read the New York Times, BBC, Washington Post, CNN, AP, Reuters, Guardian, it is now accepted truth that Israel has already destroyed Iran's defenses. And so any attack on Iran will be easy, involves very little risk, and they'll be too weak to respond. This is how the CIA and Mossad approached Trump with their war plan and got him to accept it. This is, of course, the irony. To successfully establish deterrence, you have to show that you are willing to go to war. If you instead impose red lines and they keep being broken, you don't even follow through with what you said were the appropriate responses, even below the level of an all-out war, like the bombing of Tel Aviv in exchange for the bombing of Beirut, then you have lost all deterrent value. You have convinced the other side that you are weak. Iran's fundamental mistake was that they kept seeing their red lines being violated, and then they didn't follow through on what they themselves had said would be the response. The same with Hezbollah. This is why Israel was emboldened enough to assassinate Nasrallah. They have admitted that they delayed it for a very long time because they were afraid of Hezbollah and Iran's response. Then they did the assassinations of Haniyeh, Food Shukur, and there was nothing. They did nothing. They just whined. They just posted videos of drone footage over Israeli military bases, and now Nasrallah is gone. And they are tightening the noose around Lebanon and proceeding with it. Its full integration into the U.S., NATO, Israeli empire, etc. I do want to. Oh God, this is long. Hold on. Sorry, this is so long. It's got good information in it, though. Hold on. I think I might be able to find that lady very quickly. Hold on one second. Or not. Or not here. I had her video up just a little while ago. But it may be way too far back. The Kirby Salt Lakers. The Kirby Enthusiasm skit about the Palestinian chicken place was hilarious. Oh, man. Oh. Sorry to make so many noises, but why is my history so cluttered? So much history. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's not that easy to find. Sorry. Sidetrack. Excuse me. Pardon my sidetrack. My God. All right. Let's see. If it's not in here, then. I guess not. All right. I'm going to have to go look that lady up after the show. She's interesting. She's just really interesting. Yeah. She's just talking about hacking the biofield and I mean, she's one of those people that just man, when she talks, she sounds insane, but the information she's giving is totally plausible. And you're like, man, I want to go down this Sabrina Wallace. Is that it? Okay. Yeah. She's interesting. I think that's her. The lady with the 50s weird hairdo, helmet hair. Yeah. that lady. Oh, one more thing from Z Squirrel. Take note that the entire Western media and political class, including all the pseudo-radicals, the experts, the epic-based Israel critics, the intercept and drop site writers are all going along with the Trump turn on Israel propaganda. They're either doing it because they're just, as in the aforementioned case, plainly stupid and always follow the herd. Anyways, I'm not going to read the rest of this. We got the idea. It was a fake. It was a fake out. Also, be wary and be careful. People are sounding the alarms around a false flag, possibly on U.S. soil, that will be further used to invoke, incite, to get people to support this war, because they don't have any support, like any, right? So they want to get some support. And so a really good way to do that is to have, supposedly Iran, supposedly have Iran do like a false flag. Grape and Tyne, I think they hit them from Iraq, but I think they were in Syrian airspace, which is also controlled, U.S. controlled. Oh, here it is. Oh no, this is a different one. Well, let's read this first. So Israel had an underground bunker in Iran, full of drones hidden for years and ready to go for a carefully planned attack on our Iranian air defense systems. And they had the pager attack on Hezbollah in place, ready to go for years as well. But they were totally caught off guard by Hamas on 10/7, when all their defense and warning systems collapsed at the exact same time. Sounds like another day of infamy. Systems collapsed at the exact same time, where it took them 6 hours to generate a response, which included them blowing up dozens of homes and hundreds of cars with their own citizens trapped inside. Sure thing. Here is Mike Pompeo telling you that, you know, there's Iranian terror cells everywhere. You never know what's going to happen. Mike Pompeo looking weird. He used to be fat Mike. Now he's like gaunt Mike.
Careful who you are around in terms of large events, Jewish events. I mean, this sounds like we've gone backwards decades in terms of the threat on Jewish lives. But that's exactly what this is also about.
Have we gone backwards?
Harris, I actually think it's just the converse of that. I do agree this could be a very high tension, stressful, and indeed there may be an event somewhere in the world. It's not just the missiles or drones they'll fly to Israel, but the Iranian IRGC, the very leadership the Israelis destroyed last night, has been working in nearly every country around the world, including the United States of America, to plant little terror cells all across the world. Hezbollah was doing the same. So this will be a very difficult period. But in the end,
my God,
this was not a reckless attack, but indeed what they did was decent and just and righteous, and will reduce risk to the Jewish diaspora around the world, and for Israel and for the United States of America. A really good set of outcomes are in the offing, so long as Israel is prepared to finish the task, and as long as the world unites to provide continued deterrence and defense to prevent Iran from conducting all kinds of...
He almost looks, maybe adrenochrome. He almost looks a little, he looks kind of sickly, actually. Yeah, he went from big boy to Twiggy. What's wrong, Mike? What's wrong? So there he is telling you that the Iranians, they have terror cells. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Salt lickers, 100%. He did, Schultze. Yes, he did. Here's just a thought, also adding in some fear factor. If there is a terrorist attack here in the U.S. soon, it will be a false flag used to garner support in sending troops to Israel and beginning war with Iran. This is all the way back in 2023. My sources are history and reality. And she reposted this saying we're getting close now. I mean, the signs are flashing red right now for some nonsense like this. So be on alert. All wars are bankers. Yeah. This is at the behest of the people who are really in charge. Has nothing, I mean, very little to do with Trump or other public figures. The puppet masters are really working overtime right now. He could be. Could be on that crank diet. Israel imposes total siege on West Bank. By the way, Gaza and I believe the West Bank have been completely, they shut the internet off completely in the area. People are, it's probably why you haven't seen a lot of footage from Gaza in the last couple of days, because they have shut the internet off. So it's like really difficult for people to get stuff out of there or to get any information in. And I mean, this makes you wonder what is happening there or what is going to happen to them there. It's obviously in concert with the attack on Iran. Clearly, you know, there's some logistical coordination there. The Israeli military says it's moving large numbers of forces into the occupied West Bank and placing all Palestinian towns under lockdown until further notice. A full siege has been declared across the territory. Israeli forces also raising alert levels across all borders. In the north, troops are being mobilized to defend or attack if needed, according to the Times of Israel. This is from yesterday. Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think our government is still bad and imperialist without Israel. Sure. Well, I mean, I think Israel and U.S. are, you know, it's like Democrats and Republicans. They're one and the same. They have, you know, it's the same people controlling the same puppets for the same goal. There's no, I mean, people say that we are an occupied country because Israel owns all of our politicians, but we, you know, they didn't, you know, we're not like, oh no, or the politicians aren't like, oh no, whatever shall I do? No, they're like, they're all on the same team. They are all on the same team. There's no daylight between their goals and Israel's goals, and it's all the same. And they're like, they're fine. They are, like RFK said, Israel is our aircraft carrier in the Middle East. We do their bidding because we want to do their bidding, because we want them to do our bidding. It's well choreographed, if you will. Okay. That was my Jimmy Stewart. That's a well choreographed dance, you see. Why don't you bring me my drink? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. So doom and gloom right now. Today on Friday. Zuzu, yes. Zuzu's pedals. Bart. Zuzu's pedals. What? They're there the whole time. Okay. Remember last year in 2024 when Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir, predicted that the U.S. would fight a three-front war against Iran, China, and Russia? Yeah, you want to get good and real frightened? Okay. The same Alex Karp who said it's Palantir's job to go after their enemies and kill them. Now Palantir's running the show, and Israel allegedly worked with U.S. military advisors to plan the strike on Iran, things that make you go, huh. I'm telling you, these are the people that are making this happen. It's Alex Karp, and there's people above them, I'm sure, that we are not privy to their names. You know, don't get caught up looking at Trump and Netanyahu and Marco Rubio and all those fools. It's the tech lords that are really like running the show. Let's see. Let's see. It's just all freaking Israel all day. Guys, if you like this show, if you enjoy the show coming to you for free Monday through Friday, and you would like the show to continue coming to you for free Monday through Friday, and I would surely love to keep bringing it to you for free Monday through Friday, consider supporting the show at one of the links in the description box on YouTube, or the link tree on X or Telegram. Oh man, I forgot to start the show on Telegram. I just realized. Sorry. If anybody was looking to watch the show on Telegram, I apologize, but I forgot to start it. Too late now. Kind of sucks because I have to go over to Telegram, start the show, and then when the show's done, I gotta go over there and stop the show. Oh my god. Oh. The the absolute pain and suffering of all of that. You can't hand 2 Marshall Plans worth of military aid to a genocidal apartheid state and expect it not to behave like a total bastard. You get what you pay for. $250 billion in military aid. That's a lot of cheese, yo. Assuming we have any news next Friday, yeah. That is a lot of cheese. Tucker Carlson. Remember that Tucker Carlson is a straight up CIA plant, and he's controlled opposition, but you know, he's doing a good job of saying true things right now. But always remember, he's working for the man. It's worth pointing out that a strike on Iranian nuclear sites will almost certainly result in thousands of American deaths at bases throughout the Middle East and cost the United States tens of billions of dollars. The cost of future acts of terrorism on American soil may be even higher. Those aren't guesses. Those are the Pentagon's own estimates. A bombing campaign against Iran will set off a war, and it will be America's war. Don't let the propaganda slide to you that they want it. It is good for business and agendas. Agendas. They want it. They need it. And God, I hope this is the last one about this particular subject. Because I can't take it anymore. And this goes to bolster what I just said. So underscores what I just said. 4 of the top tech boys are being commissioned into the Army Reserve under the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Welcome to Skynet. Palantir, Meta, OpenAI execs to commission into Army Reserve form Detachment 201. They are injecting AI into the military right now, as we speak. So everywhere, they're injecting AI everywhere right now as we speak. And these are the tools for greater control that they are trying to put in place as quickly as possible. So that it will be much, much harder to, dodge the draft, form an organized resistance force, leave the place, leave the motherfucking place. Liberals, no, don't protest so disruptively. You're only hurting your cause. The fascists, this direct action is hampering our ability to do fascism. I'm telling you, you know, don't let people tell you not to get out there and do something. Don't let people tell you that. Trump's border czar says protests are making immigration raids more dangerous and difficult. Kind of like, you know, after Luigi did what he did, healthcare executives or workers weren't so quick to deny people's claims, and in fact, they started approving claims because they were like, "We don't want anybody finding out we're walking down the street." Kind of has an effect. So this is, you know, people getting out and protesting it are making it difficult for them to do the thing that they're trying to do. What? You guys aren't just going to lay down and let us just go forward and just do it all? Billy Ocean, he had some jams. He did. Caribbean Queen. All right, we got. There's not too much left here. There's a cop kneeling on a woman's neck. There's all these photos, you know. It's the new Gaza, I guess. There's just video and pictures of cops just doing, you know, trampling people with horses and. Cop kneeling on a woman's neck while other cops use bikes to shield him from cameras. Don't look at us abusing people. It might look bad. And this is a crazy clip. Senator Alex Padilla is forcibly removed from Secretary Kristi Noem's news conference. Yeah, you know the one that doesn't know what habeas corpus means. It's such a a dull knife. She doesn't know what habeas corpus means. Senator Alex Padilla is forcibly removed from DHS Secretary Kristi Noem's news conference in Los Angeles. Noem was in LA to address the ongoing protests against President Donald Trump's immigration policies. Federal agents handcuffed Padilla after his removal. I don't really know what he was doing. I can't really tell.
I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I was not arrested. I was not detained.
We pressed Noem when she walked out.
Why did you detain him? Why was that the action you decided to take?
I'll let the law enforcement speak to how this situation was handled, but I will say that it's people need to identify themselves before they start lunging at people that during press conferences.
Is it appropriate to handcuff a sitting senator that way?
Padilla's Democratic colleagues outraged.
I just saw something that sickened my stomach. The manhandling of United States senators.
Just saw something.
We need immediate answers to what the hell went on.
Well, tonight, the White House saying Padilla stormed a press conference that he wanted attention and blasting it as an image.
You're right, Denver. That went through my head almost immediately. I was like, what's, you're talking about a senator being tackled to the ground. Like, okay, what's the theater about around this? Right? Like, why are they acting this out? My only guess is that, I don't know, fake opposition to ramp up the emotions, to get things even more out of hand, out of control. I'm not sure. Bunch of Democrats. They always increase the ICE funding. Kamala, Biden kept increasing ICE funding all through their administration. So They weren't against it. They weren't opposed to it. Let's see. Excuse me. Excuse me. You guys feeling good and depressed yet? All right. Great. 75. Well, they expressed gratitude for ICE. Yeah. Yep, they sure did. In 2024, President Joe Biden signed a spending bill that significantly increased funding for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, allocating $3.4 billion to jail and average. This number is 41,500 immigrants a day. That's a lot of people. That is a ton of people. This represents a dramatic shift from earlier budget requests, which has sought to reduce ICE detention funding to 25,000 beds. The fiscal year 2025 budget request sought funding for 34,000 beds. The current administration has faced criticism for increasing ICE detention capacity to potentially 46,000, which could be the highest level ever funded by a Congress. Yeah. So guess what? You get the same thing. Whether your flavor is blue ice or red ice, you get the same thing in your snow cone. Can I have the blue ice? I just love the blue ice. It is my favorite. What is that? Blue raspberry? Oh, that's delicious. All right. Let's see. I don't know if I have anybody to thank. As of yet, today, on this day, but thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing up every day and doing the dang thing with me. I do appreciate you. One in 20 people in San Antonio are undocumented. Oh, wow. I guess ICE isn't there because government Abbott is a Trumpophile. There are a lot of theories about why they chose LA to, do the whole spectacle of it. One involving the idea that, LA and California are, LA is a sanctuary city. California, obviously quite liberal. And they did this, because California's mobbed up that too. Well, there's also, priming Gavin Newsom for a little more attention in the spotlight so he can run for president in 2028. Making him look like a good old, opposition force to Trump, which he is not. He is not. No way, no how. Did Kurt Russell ever make it out? That's a good question. Escape from New York, suckers. New York. Gavin wants his vineyard cheap workers back from Trump. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Sorry, the news was so depressing today, but that's how we generally roll. But cheer up. Enjoy the rest of your day. And Governor Assbutt. So nice had to say it twice. Ass butt. Ass butt. What you can do for your country. Ass but not. What you can do for yourself. I don't know why that was hilarious. I slay me sometimes. Okay. Thanks, guys. Y'all are great. Appreciate you. I'll see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend or try. Take it easy out there. Peace.